Hey, what is happening with King County real estate? You want to know? Stick around. Okay, it's Aaron Hendon with eXp Realty and Christine and Company. Thanks for coming by the YouTube channel. Great to see you. Actually, I can't see you, but you can see me. Thanks for coming by anyway. Let's take a look at what is happening with King County real estate. See if we can't get a good forecast for what the future holds. We're going to look at the last 2 years because there's been so many changes over the last 2 years in inventory and home values and things like that. It just seems like it's been a crazy, crazy time. Lots of different media has been generated about the housing bubble and overpricing. Let's take a look at why. This is the supply and demand charts. This pretty much tells everything you need to know. The dark green, are the available inventory and the active listings every month, and the blue are the buyers, the pending, how many are sold. So supply, how much is active, sold, demand, okay? So let's look. If you see last year, this information here in the middle, that dark green, those bulges, are the explosion of inventory that happened last summer, which drove people crazy. It was like prices started to drop and houses sat on the market for a long time. Why? Because there was so much more inventory than demand. The demand has been relatively steady over the last 2 years. If you look, there's seasonal trends, like buyers go down in the winter. So it's a great time to shop because there's less competition and there's still a good amount of a good amount of supply. So you've got a shot in the fall and the winter every year to get a deal because there's so much more inventory than there is demand. But the point is there has been an explosion of demand relative to the last 2 years. Started last summer. It has come down a little bit. If you notice, it's come down. It's not even come close to 5,000 this year, 5,000 available units anywhere. It never made it past the third highest month of last year, this year. Now, it's been a fairly steady time, around 4,300 units available over the last 4 or 5 months. And the demand, the number of pending, has slowly dropped with a little bump up in September. So if you were shopping in September, you probably felt that change because there was a lot of available inventory. Things were getting easier to buy. And then all of a sudden in September, little bump up in the demand. But in general, there's still more supply than demand. There's about a 2 to 3 month inventory, which is just at the bottom of a balanced market. It's still a seller's market, but it's getting more and more balanced, okay? Yes, having more inventory than demand still allows you to have what's considered a seller's market. You're just not seeing the craziness that you saw the last couple of years. Let's look at that craziness. How does all that information I just said relate to price? Well, here, the blue is the amount over asking, okay? The amount over asking for each home. The green is the median price point. So, couple things. One, you could see the median price point spiked it peaked last April, okay? And it's come down a little bit, seasonally it's come down, but, it's still well over 600, 650, something like that. Yeah, 700 here, 700, 650s, right? So it's come down a little bit, but you don't see the wild swings in median price that you see in amount over asking. So you can notice that the amount over asking just died with all that inventory last year, just fell off the table, down almost to 98% of asking price. So homes started to go for less than they were asking for last year. Sort of that trend bottoming out in January of this year. Your best deals were in the winter of last year, which is not that unusual. If you look, that's a reliable trend, is the best deals are in the winter. Now, that spiked back up over 100. That's what I mean by it's still a seller's market, despite there being more inventory. People were still getting more than they were asking for it in May, June, July of this year. And it just dipped under that now. So now you're shopping, you're going to get a home for a little bit less than people are asking for it in King County. 99%, things like that, 99.5%. but they're still moving off the market because you could see, if you remember, the demand was up a little bit, supply was coming down, tightening up. You're looking at 3, 4, 5% equity gains, a sustainable rate. This is a sustainable market. This nonsense over here where things are going for 105%, where there's no inventory, that's not sustainable. This is. So if you're selling, you got to price it right and be prepared. The 2017 is come and gone, my friend. You didn't sell it with the massive bidding wars, but you can still get a bidding war if you price it right. If you're buying, I would recommend you get shopping right now, because October, November, December is going to be a great time to pick up a bargain, and you're unlikely to have to pay over asking price. So you have questions, because everything changes based on neighborhood, house, very specific. Real estate is a very, very localized phenomenon. So if you have questions about your situation or your area, reach out. I'm happy to help. Let me know if you have questions about anything I presented here. I am always here to be of service, and I am at your service at all times. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you get all my updates as they come out. Put your name and your email below if you want any, if you have any questions, any feedback, anything you need me to get, I'm happy to get it for you. All right. Talk to you later.